Hello, my name's the Retro Gaming Goose and welcome back to another video and a very happy Pride Month to everyone. And this is going to be a bit of a personal video because I'm going to be talking about some stuff that I don't normally talk about, just a little insight into my actual personal life for everyone. But because it is Pride Month and it is June, I did think, I'll do some videos that have a bit more topical. And being a member of the queer community, I did think that this would be a fantastic time to go through a subject that not many people talk about. That subject being queer gaming icons. Now, my plan is to go through sort of every week of June a new sort of gaming icon. Not necessarily that they are a queer character, but someone that I think is iconic within the queer community. And I'll go through all the reasons as to why I think that and such, but like that's basically my plan. So there's going to be a video like this every week this month. And if you haven't guessed already by the video or the gameplay that's playing over the video, this week we're going to be talking about Samus Aran, the absolute gaming icon that she is. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Samus Aran is the protagonist character of the Metroid series. She features in both like Metroid and Metroid Prime, which is like the first version of Metroid, and she has been a Nintendo character since 1986 from the first NES release of Metroid. And if you don't know like the gaming history, a lot of people didn't realize playing the first Metroid that Samus was a woman. There are a whole generation of people that played the first Metroid game and did not realize that they were playing as a female protagonist. Now, to me, Samus has always been like the Ellen Ripley of the gaming industry, or the gaming characters, in the sense that she's just one absolute badass bitch. Now, getting into the actual crux of the video and why I think that Samus is a iconic queer character. Now, I'm not going to make the outrageous claim that she is a queer character herself. We don't have actually any evidence of that in the video games at all. In fact, there's actually evidence for the opposite. In the Metroid series, Other M, they really tried to sort of put like a love interest in it, and it didn't really go down with fans. I don't really like the Other M series. I don't really consider them to be sort of canon to the Metroid like universe, but they are, so deal with it. But disregarding that, I just cannot imagine Samus ever being with a guy. Like, I just think she is a mass lesbian, like the most mass lesbian you've ever seen in your life. And the sexuality and sex appeal of Samus has been up for debate for many years. If you saw on my Instagram a few weeks ago, I did actually post a picture from the original sort of like Nintendo Power magazine, where there was a small cartoon where it had sort of Samus in a hot tub surrounded by a bunch of babes. And the Japanese artist that drew that picture then went back and said that he didn't actually know that Samus was a woman. He'd never completed the game. Made a comedic, over-sexualized picture anyway. But until the much later games, she was a character that wasn't really sort of like used for her sex appeal, rather her just absolute tough as nuts persona. When I started doing research for this project, and believe it or not, I do actually do quite a bit of research for these videos. But I spoke to a lot of my friends in the queer community, and I wanted to get like an idea of who else they thought were like queer gaming icons. And when the topic of Samus came up, or like Metroid in general came up, a lot of my friends were really surprised that it's never been confirmed that she is a lesbian, because she gives that energy, it's that vibe. I absolutely cannot imagine Samus ever settling down with a guy, which is probably why the Other M series was so controversial and didn't feel right to the character. I remember when I was growing up, when I was young and youthful, the first Metroid game I ever played was Super Metroid on the SNES, and I was absolutely amazed by the character. And then I had Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance, and that was even better. Just the idea of this character that just wasn't like overly sexualized like so many female characters were back in the day, and now honestly like a lot now are still overly sexualized for apparently no reason. But for me growing up, to have a character that was just like not sexualized to that degree, where someone was just like, okay, they're just there to do their job, to get the stuff done, was so refreshing. And I know that's probably like not everyone's mindset. A lot of people do like sexualization, both in the queer community and outside the queer community. So, but for me personally, I was just like, I wish they could stop with over-sexualized characters. But again, that is a tiny bit hypocritical of me, because one of my favorite ever games growing up was Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. But again, I didn't really get the concept of that. I thought that was a very good volleyball game. I didn't know it was played for other reasons. Now, one of the more interesting things that I found out while doing research for this video is Samus is not only an icon for like the lesbian community, but also a icon for the transgender community. So the story behind this is a little bit more I don't know how to explain it. It's a little bit more obscure, and it could be down to mistranslation, but I don't really know. And at the end of the day, if you find something iconic or you can relate to something, then that's personal and that's to you, so you do whatever. But here is sort of the basics of the story. So basically what happened in 1994, the writers of the official Japanese Super Metroid strategy guide asked the Metroid developers if they could share any secrets about the intergalactic bounty hunter that is Samus Aran. And please forgive me for absolutely butchering this name, but one of the original writers of the game series, Hirofumi Matasoka, probably not actually called that because I cannot pronounce Japanese names, but claimed that Samus was not actually a woman but something called a new half, which to me sounds very problematic and probably has a lot of issues to it. But apparently new half was a terminology or Japanese slang that was widely used in the 90s. Again, please forgive me if that's offensive to anyone. I'm just like in my research. It's always awkward when you talk about slang words from another country that you have absolutely no context of, let alone slang from 30 years ago, which I'm just going to assume is problematic. But since that day, there has been a lot of people asking if that is like a genuine comment or if it's something that was meant in a sort of a derogatory way, and it has never really been answered, but a few people in the trans community believe it to be true. There are other things as well. So in Nintendo Power magazine, it announced that like Samus was 6'3" and weighed about 198 pounds, which is not sort of the typical weight for your cisgendered woman, or height for that matter. Flames of these rumours were stoked even more when Metroid Zero Mission came out. On the official Japanese FAQ website, the co-director of Metroid, Yoshio Sakamoto, said that it wasn't impossible for Samus to be a transgender character. Again, neither confirming nor denying the sort of reveal of their gender. However, unfortunately for the transgender community, it was around this point in time that Nintendo started moving to a more sexualized version of Samus. Nintendo slowly altered a lot of Samus's design, making her sort of very stereotypically like blonde, petite woman. They made her breasts larger. They sort of really hampered down that over sexualization of the character. They also made her shorter. They made her way less. And a lot of people say that this was sort of the trans erasure of the character or of that identity that people believed they had. And until I started writing and researching the script for this video, I had no idea about how fiercely people get on this topic about Samus and transgender. It is hotly debated, and it is brutally debated online. There seems to be a certain type of internet personality that gets absolutely fucking crazy about it. Like, I'm talking right-wing crazy as well. Like, they're going absolutely ballistic at the mere suggestion that a character could be transgender. But if you want to know more about this subject, the marysue.com has a great article about it if you want to read about it, with lots of links to Twitter discussions and people just frothing at the mouth being mad about it. Hilarious read if you've got a thick skin. Now, one of the best games for me in recent memories was Metroid Dread. This game went back to the basics for Metroid, and it really did affirm that same feeling I had for Metroid, or I had for Samus Aran when it first came out, and there's just something so iconic about her in this game. This game manages to portray the personality of a character without the character barely saying anything at all. The design went back to Samus being 6 foot something and weighing a bit more. She's got actual muscles that you would expect a bounty hunter to have, and the absolute sass on this bitch in this game is ridiculous. I didn't manage to get a recording of it, but there is a moment in this game when you face off against a big fat fiery dragon, and the first thing she does without a fucking flinch is just fucking shoot it in the face, and it is amazing. This game is really about a woman that does not need a man, and it absolutely oozes lesbian power. It really does. I can't really describe it unless you've played it. Like, it's something you have to experience, and you'll just absolutely get what I'm talking about. And I feel like this game was an absolute return to form for the characterization of Samus. It felt like the Samus I remember her being in my childhood, and it felt like it was just getting back what the fans wanted, or should I say the queer fans wanted. But yeah, that's been my thoughts and feelings, and just me chatting about someone that I think is a queer gaming icon. It goes without saying that this whole video has just been my opinion, and that like there isn't really much more I can say about that. It's just my opinion on the matter. I've not really based it up with too much facts. But my personal headcanon is that Samus is a lesbian, and whether you agree, whether you disagree, that's up to you. But let me know in the comments below. I genuinely would like to get an idea behind it, like what you think, what your thoughts and feelings are. Please keep the comments civil, because I will just delete comments that I think are homophobic. But let me know what your thoughts are about this. Let me know if you have any gaming icons that you would consider a queer gaming icon. I've got another video coming out next week, and one for every week of June for Pride Month, just going through different iconic characters or different people that I think are queer gaming icons. But that is it from me. That is everything that I really wanted to go through on this video. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be plenty more videos coming out over this month. I've actually got more videos than usual planned for this month, so it should be pretty fun. If you want to know more about my just general game collection and the stuff that I do, you can find my Instagram at the Retro Gaming Goose, where I post pictures of my gaming collection pretty much every weekday. I also have a TikTok at the same name, but I don't post that often on TikTok. It's more just as and when I can be bothered. So really, YouTube is your best bet if you like this content. I understand that this is not the sort of like usual type of video that I make, so it's been a bit of a change up for me trying to write a video that actually has a little bit of meaning and thoughts and feelings behind the video. And I probably didn't get across exactly what I meant, but you know, it is what it is. Either way, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next video.